You are being programmed.
A name shrouded in controversy, but why? Lucifer is only mentioned once in the Bible, and that's in Isaiah 14:12. Well, he is, and he isn't. Confused? When it was translated into the vulgar Latin, Shining One, the morning star, translates to Lucifer. So the Vulgate translated the Hebrew Hallel ben Sherah, Shining One, Son of Morning. It became Lucifer. And this lost in a translation moment, basically Lucifer got connected to Satan, the devil, the adversary. Whereas the light bringer, morning star, should refer to the planet Venus. So originally it could have been the king of Babylon they were basically referring to. Also associated with Venus and the morning star is the Sumerian god Inanna. So, if you type in Lucifer definition, this is what the search engines will give you. So obviously the word of the day is
Lucifer.
So remember this one later.
Lucifer.
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 Because I'm not actually doing a spell etymology, I'm doing more what it sounds like to me. And again, as you know guys, it's just my opinion. So they say it's another name for Satan, which we know different. Literary I can't say that word. The planet Venus when it rises in the morning. Archaic. A match struck by rubbing it on a rough surface. Never heard that yet. Origin from lux or look, meaning light, and Latin fur bearing. Lucifer, light bringing morning star. Lucifer. Old English from Latin light bringing morning star, from lux, luke or look, light, fur bearing. Lucifer. And it is by association with the son of the morning, Isaiah 14:12, which, as I've just showed you, is incorrect. Believed by Christian interpreters to be reference to Satan. Just a vulgar Latin who got it wrong. Well, it's not got it wrong, it's just the pronunciation, the translation in that language. That's what Hallel ben Sherah meant, or son of the morning. So there you go, guys. Here we are doing
Lucifer.
Lucifer. And I'm just doing something different again, and it's eye-opening when you look at it this way. So let's start by breaking it down, and I'm just going to split it into two. I'm going to focus on Lu, and then the cipher later. So Lu comes from Latin illi, that, or from Old Latin ole, that again. Cognates include Italian lo, which is him, and il, the, and French li or le, the, him, the, and him. It's intriguing, isn't it? Now, what is also funny is that it comes from Ilum, now, which isn't too far away from Ilium. Now, if you remember my Sacred Connection video where I'm talking about the sacral area, Do you remember when I showed you this? The ilium is the wings on the pelvic area, and in the middle, if you highlight it and make it red, it strangely looks like a devil type of figure. And I just went wow when I saw ilium. I thought, wow, that's only an eye away. You know, ilium and ilium. Strange the coincidence that you find. I'm not saying it is this, but I just couldn't pass up not to remind you guys of this situation on the sacred connection. Now also, Lu is a prefix which forms diminutive nouns or describe something as evil, which is interesting as well. So could be evil him, evil it. You know, it's strange, isn't it? But if we look at it a little bit different, and instead of looking at the word Lu and actually just pronounce Lu, you know, phonetically, look else that we can find. So if we pronounce it this way, Lu, L-E-U, that's a Proto-Indo-European root meaning to loosen, divide or cut apart. That's wow, that isn't it? Especially when you don't, you know, what I'm going to show you later on for the last part of Lucifer. It is mind-blowing, and it is the hypothetical source of evidence for its existence. Is provided by Sanskrit lunati, cuts off, or lavitram, sickle, Greek lion, to loosen, untie, slacken, or lysus, a loosening, Latin luere, to loose, release, stone, for excipates. So that's strange, to release. Strange, isn't it, when we're talking about obviously Lucifer and the devil and Satan. I know they're not the same, but from the tales that we've been told, it's intriguing, isn't it? Especially when you look at the last bits, Old Norse, louse, loose, free, and the last bit, Old English, Lucian, be lost, perish. Intriguing, especially when I'm going to talk about the last part of Lucifer now. So I was just ready to finish this last section on the Lu, and I remembered when you work and they give you time off, it's in lieu of. So Lu, in that sense, late 13th century, great vowel shift again, as part of a phrase in lieu of or in place, room of or instead of, from Old French lieu, place, position, situation, rank, from Latin locum, nominative locus, a place. So that's interesting to add to the list of what Lu could be. Alright, so it's now time to look at Cipher in Lucifer. Right guys, we're looking at the word Lucifer today, obviously, and we've looked at a few Lus. Now, yes, this is a spell etymology video and it's just my opinion, and I want to look at it differently. And when you look at the word differently, it opens up a big can of worms. Doesn't mean it's correct, it just means it's interesting if you look at things differently. Now that's why I'm looking at it a bit phonetically. So we looked at Lu. Now instead of Lucifer, we look at
Cipher.
Lucifer, because it is very much Cipher. It is, you know, you could pronounce it the same, but just look at what
Cipher
actually is. So let's start there. If people didn't know already, a secret or disguised way of writing a code. Straight away, your brain's going off, isn't it? Like me, when I looked at it differently. Something written in a code. A key to a code. I'm not saying anything when I mention keys. A person of no importance, especially one who does the bidding of others and seems to have no will of their own. Sounds like what normally people call NPCs. Obviously, you know, I have my opinion that it's different, but you get what I'm saying. A monogram, and then obviously the verb, third person, ciphers, etc. Put a message into secret writing in code. Archaic, do arithmetic. Origin, Arabic, Cipher 0, and I'll go into that a little bit in more detail in another description. And you can see why I'm intrigued. So obviously,
Cipher.
Another way to say it is a continuous sounding of an organ pipe caused by mechanical defects. Organ pipes, people talk about how the organs, especially in a cathedral, work. It's interesting when you look at something different, isn't it, guys? And this has just got me wow when you look at Lucifer and actually pronounce it
Cipher.
Lucifer. because it's talking about codes, and it just blew me away, guys. Right, guys, so tell me it's not interesting now when you mention
Cipher
instead of Cipher and Lucifer. And obviously I've just quickly talked about a cipher is a secret code, usually one that's created using a mathematical algorithm. Sometimes the message written in code itself is called a cipher. I might eventually do like a standalone on this, because it's opening up, like I said, a big can of worms when you look at it differently, and in regard to mathematics. And obviously we're looking at Lucifer in the sense of light bringer, and how he's associated with, like Prometheus, to bring knowledge. Knowledge is light, and it could be a form of a code. It's just intriguing, especially if you think about it. We're living in a simulation, or hooks up to a matrix type of thing, and we're talking about gaining information. It's just, my brain's going 10 to the dozen, as they say. So cipher comes from the Arabic sif or sifra, which means nothing or zero. The word comes to Europe along with the Arabic numeral system, as early codes substituted numerals for letters to hide the world's meaning. Codes became known as ciphers. If you crack a cipher, you break the code and you can understand the message. From its zero meaning, cipher can also be used for a person who has no influence or importance in the world. Tell me, guys, you're not going wow, because I am. Yes, it's not the normal sense of etymology, and I know the spell etymology is just my interpretations of it anyway, but when you look at the word Lucifer and change it to Lucifer, and what I've just said about Lu already, now tie that together with cipher, you can see why I'm excited. And like I said, it's opening up a big can of worms. So I'll just move down and see what these other place describes a cipher. A secret method of writing, a message written in secret code, convert ordinary language into code, a mathematical element that when added to another number yields the same number, a quantity of no importance, a person of no influence, make a mathematical calculation or computation, and there you go. So you can just see how it's interesting. And again, I think I might have to do like a standalone soon on this, or because I've got loads of ideas racing in my head. So just to round it up, what Lucifer could mean, in my opinion, is a replacement code, the hidden code, his code, the code that was cut, or the code, or the code. They're just interesting things, aren't they, when you start to look at it a little bit different. Lu, and then cipher being a hidden code. Could there be something hidden in light, in information, in the matrix, or is it in regard to tech AI wise? Who knows? It's just interesting, isn't it? I mean, could it be source code? Is Lucifer a hacker, a program that taught humans how to connect to or hack source? Because obviously people will still think in different ways, and we don't all think the same, so I love to give people just a little bit different of an opinion. It's just an idea, isn't it? Lucifer being a hacker or a program that taught humans how to connect to source, like Prometheus. Is this why Lucifer is associated with to evil, because they made it that way? Is it part of a plan to hide the code, the information, the light from people they deem don't matter? Just interesting, isn't it, guys? So hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon, guys. Take care.